It's 4:30 in the morning. I decided to start early. After yesterday's break, I feel like I'm in a better place to complete this. As per the plan, I start with the issues I identified in my last session. First, the building, because that was the easiest part to tackle. I use a lighter wash of the graphite blue to mute the tones in the building. I use the same on other areas of the building that need a lick of paint. Next, I move on to the boat's hull, the cast shadow of the foam, and increase the depth in that area. I use the Kuretake graphite red, the same paint that was already there. I'm trying to deepen the shadow around the waveform. Now, the foam, the part I've been avoiding. I'm unsure, so I'm going through my neocolors and see if it is something I can use for the foam. I try it on and I don't like it. So I go back to my blue pencil, the one I have used in other areas. I'm building the darker tones wherever there could be a shadow, similar to how I shaped the scallopy seabed, occasionally sharpening the pencil. I'm picking dark colors as required to build the shadow further. Next, the water. I grab my Neo colors this time. They're water soluble, slightly creamier than the Faber-Castell pencils. I'm tempted to go straight in with the Viridian and destabilize. Well, I would have done that had I not spent my precious hours over the last few days working through this. Anyway, I grab my sketchbook to test. I decide Viridian and white can go into the water. Well, that wasn't so bad. I turned the page around and carefully worked towards the horizon to get a somewhat believable water. The alarm rings. 45 minutes are already over, but I have dealt with all my major issues at this point. So I reward myself with 10 more minutes. That eventually becomes 15. I'm really annoyed about the lamp. I don't want to render it, but to cover it, I would have to redo the entire sky with something fairly opaque. That is labor. I decide to do the bare minimum and move on. I also handle the final edges of the building, the foliage and the rope and the buoy. I'm doing a final pass with some pastel pencils. I could go on endlessly. There's always something to tweak. The foam's shadow is stronger. The water has direction. The building has moved beyond the base stage. The sky at this point looks okay to me. Like I said, stopping here is a decision. I resolve the page and close it as per the criteria I set yesterday. I'm adding a few birds in the sky and signed the page. The page looks resolved to me, and I'm fairly happy with it.